Secret 5. The faster you let it go, the faster it comes. What do you do after you have stated an intention purely? Do you have to keep repeating it? If you have read until here, you'll know that there is nothing more you have to do. Once is enough, and your request is now acted upon by the universe with mathematical and formulaic precision. I know because I have experienced it countless times in my life. I'm sure you too have a deep understanding and recognition that this is also true in your own life. I mentioned in the previous chapter that the universe is impersonal. The universe does not care what you ask for or what thoughts you are thinking. You may be thinking or rehearsing positive thoughts, which the universe picks up and acts on. All is then well in your world. But if you are actually rehashing negative thoughts over and over again with lots of feeling and emphasis, well, guess what? The universe picks up and acts on those as well. If the universe is a selective one and only chose to act on good thoughts, then we would be limited in our options and thus not have free will. We are all free to create within the boundaries and framework of this space-time reality, whether what we create ultimately brings us greater happiness or greater unhappiness. The freedom to choose what we want to create is the ultimate freedom. Therefore, do not wish that the universe only act on our positive thoughts. Neither should you wish that you live in a universe where negative thoughts do not arise. The universe cannot and does not choose for us. Ultimately, we choose the thoughts we think, and we're free to choose from a myriad of possibilities by carefully selecting our thoughts. I see negative thoughts as representing that we have the ultimate freedom to choose, create, and explore. It's like how the old saying goes, you can choose to be unhappy if that makes you happy. After you have thought or stated an intention purely, the next step is to let it go. This is the part you have to do. That is your work in the manifestation and creative process. Many people, especially rational scientific thinkers in our society, have trouble with this. They cannot accept something as happening without their intervention or something that happens without their quote-unquote being involved with it. If you wish to be a powerful conscious creator, then you have to accept that there is a portion of the work that is done by you, and there is a portion of the work that is done by something greater than you. In the opening of this book, we have covered the portion of the work to be done by you specifically. You are needed in the process to decide what you do want. You are needed in the process to choose, to clarify what you do want, such that the intention is clear and pure. Your permission is needed for something to happen. Until then, the universe can't act on it. You give this permission by virtue of your thoughts, words, and deeds. Now here's the part that is not your work. Figuring out how to make something happen is not your work. Figuring out how it will come to you is not your work. Doing lots of physical action to force something to happen is not your work. The universe is set up this way and does not need your physical help. It does, however, require that you give your permission and set the creative process into motion by exercising your creative powers of imagination and choice. This is what the great spiritual teachers have been telling us all along. Florence Scovel Shinn, whom I admire greatly and also wrote additional modern explanatory texts for one of her books, is big on using your imagination to visualize and create, because in doing so, one is calling upon their God-given creative powers. Only you can exercise these powers. In deciding what you want in your life, you are exercising those powers. But after you have decided what you want, relax and let everything go. Don't even think about it again. If you do think about it again, think about it in a positive way, as if the desire is already manifested. See it as already true. One common worry is that if we do not think about our desires over and over again, they will not manifest. This can't be further from the truth. Once is enough. One clear and purely stated intention is enough, and everything is done. You do not have to keep repeating your affirmations or your desires over and over again, unless, of course, doing so helps to purify your intentions and reduce any feelings of resistance. A common pitfall of most people is that they frequently visualize or write down affirmations over and over again to the point of sheer desperation. These people are trying too hard. Conscious manifestation is not so difficult. While it takes a lot of inner work, it does not involve writing out your affirmations or doing visualizations all day long. Recall in the previous chapter when we discussed how intentions can be set in various ways. You can set an intention either by thinking about it or feeling it, saying it out loud, writing it down, or even through your actions. The fourth way, which is using actions to set intentions, is often a double-edged sword. When used right, it can bring about some very powerful demonstrations. For example, you can take an action of faith and purchase an expensive item, knowing that the money will come to you. This is setting an intention through an act of faith. However, this works the other way around as well. When someone continually repeats and writes affirmations, what kind of intention is he setting with his actions? What is he affirming or actually intending? Is he intending or affirming the presence of something, that through his actions something will manifest very soon? Or the lack of something, that because he does not have it yet, he has to affirm it repeatedly? This is a question only the individual can answer. No one can answer it for you because no one can accurately have a glimpse of your inner state. However, as I've mentioned several times throughout this book, the universe can. The universe unfailingly picks up on every single signal you send out. Therefore, if you are writing in affirmations or doing visualizations all day long, then be aware of the possibility that through your actions, you may be sending out signals of desperation and affirming the lack of something instead of the presence of something. Think about this for a moment. If something you wanted is now in your possession, how would you feel? If you are now driving your dream car or in possession of something which you desire, would you still be writing affirmations stating, "I now have whatever," or "I now drive whatever"? That would be totally absurd. You have something, and it's yours, and that's the end of it. It would be entirely real to you, as you would have dropped any feelings of lack surrounding the item, because the item which you want is already here. Now, here's the secret. Bring that feeling of reality to the present moment, not somewhere out there in the future, but into your present moment, right here, right now. Don't think of it in terms of something that is unfulfilled or something that is still out there, which you still have to get. Think and talk about it in terms of something happening in your reality right now. If you have the item right now, how would you behave? If you have the item right now, how would you feel? What would you be doing? Would you be giving thanks? Would you be writing affirmations that you have that item? This is a very important principle to get, and once again, there are ample opportunities for practice. Practice taking something that is real in your life right now that you currently have. Feel what it is like to have it. Then take something that is not currently in physical form, something you want but only exists in energy at the moment. Feel the difference in how you perceive these two items. Switch back and forth between these two feelings of representations until there is no difference between them, or make the unmanifest item feel as real as the manifested one. Do so until you feel no distinction between the two. You would have truly let go completely, and it would come very fast.